Okay, this is video number 4, and this journal I call a flow journal. There's a big story behind this one. This is called a flow journal, and this is for our monthly menstrual cycle. So this is for the ladies out there. I can't even begin to tell you like the trials and tribulations and the roller coaster ride that I've had my entire life. Actually, not my entire life. Since the 5th grade, when this journey started. It has never been a pleasant journey. And I have never been able to figure out why. I have some hypotheses about why, which I'm still working out, but this has been one heck of a journey for me, and I know it has been for millions of women. So the reason behind this is because I have had my own issues, hormonal issues, just all things out of whack. And I lived with it, and I was okay with it for a long time. I, at 16, was popping 800 milligrams of Motrin because that's just what I did to make the pain go away because I had cramps so bad. It was not uncommon for me to just miss a full week of school once a month because that time of the month was just that bad. Couldn't walk, couldn't get out of bed, could barely eat, just bad. And that persisted throughout adulthood. I would go months without having a cycle, and then all of a sudden it crept back and I was miserable. There was a time where I didn't have a cycle for a year, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't have one. That was in 2016. And what I didn't realize was how unhealthy that was. And the reason I say that is because I had learned to live with it. I've learned how to work my way around it. It wasn't until the spring of 2017 where I had a hypnosis session. And at the end of the hypnosis session, I was asked, do you want healing? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll take some healing. And I was newly on my energy work journey. So this is February, March 2017. And in like the March, April timeframe, that was the first time I realized I had had a cycle in a year. And I thought, okay, something's not right here because I thought I was healthy. And now all of a sudden things have shifted and now I know I'm not healthy. Like all the things were wrong. So I didn't pay a lot of attention to it, but I just realized I just knew something had changed and I knew something really, really was off. I won't say wrong, I'll say off. So in 2019, I think 2019 or 2019, one of those two, I started working with a naturopath. And prior to that, I'd gone to a regular gynecologist. But in 2019, I started working with a naturopath mostly for body diagnosis stuff. And I mentioned how bad my cycle was. And we were like, okay, yeah, well, we're going to get to that. So when I had these sessions with this naturopath, and if you've never worked with a naturopath, it's completely different from like any other doctor. It's more like going to a psychologist or a therapy session, except psychiatrists because they prescribe. So you just talk. You talk about your feelings, you talk about what's going on in life, you talk about your emotions, you talk about like things, and like you make connections about how you're feeling in your body and how you're feeling in your mind, how things are happening in life, and like you talk and you make connections about what is going on in life in your body. So I'm all about that, and this was new for me from a medical perspective. So eventually we got to the point where she started, really asking me targeted questions about what I was experiencing during that week or the few days leading up to that time of the month. I had never been asked those questions before. So for the first few times I was at a loss. I'm like, I don't know, I just hurt. I hurt and I don't want to hurt. Make it stop. Like, that was the conversation. So I started to take it seriously, and I started paying attention to what was going on in my body, in my mind, in my symptoms, in my emotional state, in the food that I was eating or not eating or craving, whether I wanted to move, whether I wanted to lay on the couch and just be a vegetable. I started paying attention to everything that was going on around me and in my body during that 7 to 10 day period. And boy, did things start to shift. I finally started paying attention to what my body was doing and how my body was responding to the things that I was doing. And I realized that the hormones, not helpful. Body did not want the hormones. So we got off those. And the more that I started to pay attention, the more that I, got off of chemicals and all sorts of stuff, and the more I started doing natural things, and the more I started listening to my body and kind of experimenting that way, the more things started to shift. That's how this was born. So in this journal, just like all the other journals, there are prompts, but this one is slightly different. So the first page is, again, we start with a date and how did I sleep? Did I sleep? How am I feeling overall today? What's my overall well-being, thoughts, general, things about life? How am I feeling physically? Where am I experiencing any pain or discomfort? And there's a little body, and there's a little uterus, and fallopian tubes and ovaries, because we hurt and experience discomfort in different parts of our body. So we need to note that. And we need to note, what type of pain is it? Is it burning? Is it sharp? Is it throbbing? Is it dull? How would I describe? What are my symptoms? Am I nauseous? Am I dizzy? Am I fine? How would I rate my pain or discomfort? No pain, I'm good. All the way to worst pain ever. And how would I describe my flow? Very light to very heavy. So there's, a little bit of a scale here. These are the questions that I use. These are the questions that, most of the questions that I work through with my naturopath, because they all matter. The second page. How is my mood? How is my appetite? What emotions am I experiencing? How do I feel mentally? Am I craving anything? What am I craving? Sweet, salty, other, savory? What works to help me feel better? Do I need to sit with a heating pad? Do I need to sit in the fetal position? Am I fine? Is what I'm experiencing normal for me? And when you do this over time, you'll be able to answer yes or no. How do I feel about what I'm experiencing today? So if I'm at a 10, I'm not happy about what I'm feeling today. I'm enraged because I'm in pain and I don't want to be. But if I'm at a 1 or a 2 or a 0, it's yeah, I'm good. I'm living life. Everything's easy peasy. When I connect to my body, what does it want me to know today? So this one was a big one. Big one, because I was not connecting to my body. I was where's the Motrin? Where's the Motrin? Where's the Tylenol? Where's the Aleve, whatever? And how much of it can I have at one time? Because I need to be out of pain now. That was my reality. And I know many of us have had that reality. But when we're doing that, we're not asking this question, what does my body need to know now? So when we're disconnected, we're unable to have the wherewithal to ask this question, let alone receive an answer to it. So when we're able to connect get clear, answer these questions, and then track this stuff over time, we're able to not only get answers for ourselves, see if I'm craving salty all the time, or if I'm craving chocolate all the time, if I don't feel like eating at all, or if I'm able to exercise or not. Like, all of these things matter, all of it's information. And we're able to have more awareness just about what's going on with our bodies, but then we're able to have more proactive and empowered conversations with our medical providers. Like, first and foremost, having the information to have an informed conversation. That is what this is about. That is the number one thing, is to gather the information so we can have a conversation. And I sound really passionate because I am. Because this is so important to me. Like, being able to just write this stuff down and track this and say, you know what? 3 months ago, this wasn't happening. And then being like, okay, well, what's going on now? What was going on 3 months ago? Being able to say, you know what? This is normal for me, so I don't need to worry, or, anything. Being able to talk to yourself, talk to your body about this information is priceless. It is priceless. So if you have a uterus, even if you don't have a uterus, if you had one at one point, you understand. And this is something that I emphatically stand behind because it has helped me so much. Just the types of questions that I'm asking myself and the ways in which I'm able to have a conversation with my naturopath or anyone about what I'm experiencing on a month-to-month basis has been game-changing. So, available on Amazon. Again, it's about 145 pages, $11. I can't say anymore. I can't say anymore because yeah, this one means a lot to me. So I will post the information so you can get your own. And if you're already tracking information like this, good on you, because I don't even know what I do without something like this now. It has been a long, rough road. And yeah, if you're already doing this, just good on you. And if you're not, this can help. So it's on Amazon.